start with any like questions for me on anything.
How do you like handle like tough loss?
Tough loss. That's a good question, right? So how do you handle tough loss? It's a big one too. Because if this goes back to kind of like how we think about what we're trying to do, right? So this gets back into some of the mindset, overall mindset, right? So if we're thinking about our goals and what we want to accomplish, so maybe you got to be a state champ or whatever that might be. Say you want to be a state champ, and then but you have your reason of like why do you want to be a state champ? What about that is really exciting? Maybe it's I want that to be a internal thing. Right? So I want to be a state champ, but I really want to do that because I love pushing myself to do hard things and accomplishing a challenging goal. That'd be a good reason. Maybe that's the reason, maybe it's not. But if you have that in mind, and you take a loss, and you can't, the loss isn't like the end all be all, right? It's not like that. You lost, and you're just trying to failure. When you feel it, it's okay to feel like, man, I tried really hard to win. I'm not gonna say don't be upset from a loss, but have a window. Okay, I gotta feel it for 30 minutes, an hour. That could be maybe that's probably too long, especially in tournament. For me, it's usually by the time I'm cooling down. I like to move, so I'm cooling down no matter what after a match, win or loss, where I'm doing maybe some sprints or some biking, whatever it is. So during that period, I'm getting all my emotions on. If it's a win, still getting the emotions on. So thinking about what went right, what I like, but it's thinking of it as a journey of like the reason why of you let challenge yourself and you try to accomplish a big goal. You start on the path. Like a loss isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes that's what you need is to be exposed. Right? Good people around you, your coach, you should expose you. Right? Hey man, this is what you improve on. And losses are pressure for you to do that. So viewing it as part of like this is exactly what I do. Not that you're not trying, you obviously we're trying to win. Right? We all want to win. And we're dedicating ourselves to that goal. When we lose, we feel it. Then I'm back to making this a learning and part of it. This is what I need. I'm part of that. How do you do it? Why did I lose that match? What went wrong? What did I do well? And maybe what it done wrong, did I wrestle my heart out and this has managed better? So good. I felt with that love enough. Right, so you have to rewire the way you're seeing it and giving yourself a lot of time to stay. After doing it. I can be upset about it, I can be frustrated, whatever it is, but after that 15 minutes, okay, I'm back to that. Like, nope, loss is a loss, and you can't change it. Sometimes they sting and they hurt, and the salt ain't gonna help them. Like, feel it, let your emotions speak out, however that is for you. For me, it's during my cool down. Once I cool down, I shower, it's late, maybe I'll watch back the film with my coaches, and I set it over right or wrong. All fucking Saturday. Let's rock it. Right? There's a lot to do that. That's the starting question. Yes. Yeah. Scared or anxiety on the mat. So on the mat, I'm really, really particular about my pre-match routine. Okay, I don't care if I'm wrestling in a league tournament back home against the third string JV wrestler. I'm doing the same thing the same way every time versus the national exploration. Okay, that's a big piece of it. Right? Because if I prepare the same, if I treat everything, some people might say like, oh yeah, this is state champion, treat it like any other match, treat it like it's your home gym. That's gonna be tough. It's not really. If I want to treat you one of your home gym, you practice you like it, the state tournament. Right? You see the difference of that? Okay, and then in the match, I really don't get any nerves or anxiety while I'm wrestling because I'm locked into the match. I have cues, mental cues called my mantras that I'll say that keep me on my top. Anything starts to sway, I go to my mantra. So it's like for me, it's like I say keep up in my head, just keep up. It's like if you hear my brain like myself, I probably sound like a psychopath. Like I'm like keep up. Reset. I'm back in the match and that's my reason. Like, something's gonna happen. Weird thing that happened in the match when I was younger. If like a stalling call would break me. Like I still wanted, I was a good wrestler when I was little too, but if something went wrong, a bad call, something was like, I'd almost start crying in a match, but it was stalling. Right, now it's like, if they're doing something unexpected, do not go my way. It doesn't matter. You take that for a keep that, but I'm gonna get you. It's other people like Coach Ryan, his mom just keep working. He's had keep working. So it's just like, it's not letting your mind go to these places that are gonna take you to anxious thoughts or nervous thoughts. And this, we're talking in the match. Okay, I'm gonna get the important match. In the match though, having those resets. So what's going to keep you on track to what your immediate goal is. And you can't look at 7 minutes ain't that long, but if you think about 7 minutes the whole time, that's going to tire you out. Okay? So a mantra is the biggest thing, how you're talking to yourself in a match. In a perfect world, with clear mind, right? With clear mind, we're not thinking at all, trusting our body, the work, we don't have to include our conscious thoughts, it's all subconscious. They're just feeling the rush, flow state, right? Familiar with flow state? Right? You're not really thinking, these things are just happening. You're feeling the rest of it. Time is good. You're in a groove. But when that happens, how we prepare. So I'm getting back to so in the match, be clear mind. If that starts to fade, we have an intentional thought, a mantra. Okay? Mind speak up, keep working, it could be, whatever it is. You have any whatever's for you. I want to do something positive, as in not an avoidance thing, like don't break. Well, the word you think about that is breaking. Okay? My 2 tough of these. Something you do. Keep working with something you do not. Don't stop working. Right? That's a negative way of phrasing that. If there's something to do or something actionable, the positive sense as not an avoidance thing. And something short of that where you just I'm reading. Like 2 tough. I would tell you, if you think I'm the second back, for my brain, you want to see the no thoughts with the stack line. I'm making it easy. I don't have to do that. Alright, full trust in my coaches. They tell me something, I'm not going to, okay, is that what I want? No, you got it. I trust you. Alright? Trust your coaches, trust in yourself. Your body to do what you train yourself to do. Right? If I try to tell myself each time, okay, I'm going to level change and faith, and when it comes up, I'm going to shoot myself and say, no, I got to clear my mind. Bring my mind up so that my body can just do what it's made to do, right? What God gave me to do, what I've trained to do. Okay? So trust yourself there, clear mind, intentional mantra, and keep our mind clear and focus on the past. And before a match, I want you to prepare it. And this is big, it's a lot here too. So I'll try to be quick, but before a match, really in tune with what our routine is. I want to do the same thing every single time. Every single time. You should know. And I don't know if you guys have one or not, but I can tell you every moment of my routine, of what I say to myself, it starts running the hole. Okay, so in the hole, 3 out. If I'm up to 149, when 133 is up, click into myself, my routine. Okay, so myself, I'm mounting and pacing a little bit, but it's mostly warming up my mind, right? That's a fight out there. I gotta be prepared for a fight, right? If I'm not prepared for a fight, I'm gonna be anxious. I'm gonna be nervous, right? If I'm in a fight and the fight's watching me, I'm not ready for the fight. Right? If I want to fight, and the fight comes, my money's on me. If I'm looking for it. Okay, so for me, I'll just give you a glimpse of what I'm doing. Oh man, there's so much here. Okay, so let's start basic. Okay, so you have to know. It's like a psychology thing or term is like your optimal arousal level. Or your level of pumped upness, where you want to be. You think of a scale of 1 to 10, how pumped up do you want to be before a match? Okay? For me now, I'm probably at like a 7.5 is perfect. When I was younger, I wanted to be at 9. I was like pumping myself up and pacing like crazy. I thought that's where I wanted to be. Now I'm like, man, I want to be like controlled aggression. It's real calm. It's like I don't know, a 7.5 is probably where I want to be. Coach Ryan, my head coach, he's like a 3 for it. He wants to be like a sleep. Like actually, he's always like, oh, take a nap. He's like, he wants to be asleep. Like, all right, you're on deck, so okay. Get some stuff going, then you go. So that's not me. But if it's you, you know who you are, right? So what I'm saying that you gotta know where you want to be on that scale, and make sure you take yourself there. Okay, so let's say I want to be at an 8. Okay, now, hey man, I'm at a 6. I can feel myself. Where am I at? I gotta be self-aware. Check myself. Okay, I'm probably at a 6. How do I speed myself up? Okay. I need some of these. Maybe I need to do something physical or listen to some music, whatever that is. How do I get my heart rate up? Maybe do some shorter breaths. Okay, that's getting me more amped up for a match. Or if I'm like, man, I'm at like a 10. I'm jittery. I'm nervous. I need to calm myself down. I gotta do some breathing. That box breathing we just talked about. Way of getting to that optimal state for you. It's different for each of you, and then the experience is going to teach you where you want to be. Okay, so I know I'm at a 7 or 8. It's perfect for me. That's where I want to be. So that's step 1. Step 2. So when I'm in the hole, and this doesn't have to be for you. What you're training about. You got to work for you. For me, I'm in the hole. I'm going through they're basically affirmations. Is what it is. But I'm telling myself, I'm stronger. I'm faster. I'm bigger. Tougher. I'm more technical, I'm more flexible, my defense is better, my offense is better, I'm better on top of it. And I just go through this for the whole time I'm in the hole. I'm just kind of pumping myself up of my confidence pretty much. Boosting myself up, hey, you're the man. Right, you got this. If you down my leg, I'm gonna score through my defense. If I get on those legs, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna dominate the hand fight. I'm bottom, nobody can ride me on top. I'm gonna be the tough son we got on top. Those type of things where I'm saying to myself in the hole on deck. I'm going through basically my gratitude, my faith, and preparing for a fight. Alright, so I have a Bible verse that I like to bet, Joshua 1:9. The verse I'll say to myself in my head is, you have it today, let's say that. You should share that. No, I don't know that. Yesterday, sure, it's strong and courageous. So it's like, having I command you, strong and courageous, do not be afraid, dismayed, but I'm with you wherever you go. So that's like freeing to me. That's right, like, my faith is important. Okay, that's freeing. Okay, so I go through my faith. Gratitude, man, this is what I love to do. This is all I've ever dreamed of. I worked for this. Why are you here? Right? You're doing hard things. Like, this is what you're training for. You want to be. You're the one that, like, I got a wrestler at Ohio State. I got to put on that singlet, right? I got to wear that. And Buckeyes across my chest. You should have that pride for your high school team, too, or your club team. And man, this is what I want. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm doing. You know, I get to do this. And prepare for a fight, right? Like, I'm gonna go out and fight this guy. There's a quote by Jordan Burroughs that always stuck with me. I think he like posted on Instagram once when I was like maybe a freshman in high school, and it was many men want a wrestling match. You want a war. I want the war every single time. So I say that in my head, right? I hope he just wants us to do wrestling. I hope all he wants is a wrestling match. So I want a war. When it comes to a war, sweet, I'm ready for that. I'm excited. Okay, so that's a way of preparing yourself to, hey, when things get tough, my mind is so right for it to be really hard for me to keep going and not be thrown off by that I'm amped up. Then before a match, I walk out there, slap my coach's hand, go time. Okay, and I'm clicked in. Okay, every single time, doesn't have to go in wrestling, that's what I do. Okay? It doesn't have to be those things for you, but I refined my whole life. Like, I've always had something. Now I've wrestled for 20 years, so this is my routine, and I stick to it. So have your routine. So whatever it is, I want you to be dialed in. Like, explicit it, know it. And if you feel like you get nervous a lot, or man, I feel like some days I'm prepared for my matches, and I'm not. I'm really good in the wrestling room, but when I go on compete, I can't compete the way I practice. Well, there's different things about competing. There's pressure. You know, there's you out there. You know, the lights are on. Those are all mental factors, right? But if you can click in the same type of state that you want to be in, that's going to help you a lot. Okay, so that's a really long-winded answer, but that's really important, guys. Okay, the way we're preparing for our matches, getting ourselves to the right level of things pumped up that we want to be, and having a mantra of clearing our mind and focusing on the right things while we compete. Okay? Another question? We're taking what's up? School matters? School matters like crazy. You set me up for a good one, man. Good alley. Guys, school is really important. Okay, that's something we all know, but sometimes we don't all really truly lock in with that. I've had the privilege now. I graduated and I get to sit in. I'm with the coaching staff on their meetings. They're looking at academics for guys. All right, so the way college works too is one, you have to, depending on the school, you have to have good enough GPA to get in. Right? So that's the first step why you're academic. Two, if you have a bad GPA, Ohio State's not really looking at it. This guy, he can't control his high school academics. He can't do his homework. How do we trust him to be an asset on our team? To rely on when we need somebody to go out there and compete, right? I don't know what kind of character do you have. If you're trying your best, man, and it's like, man, school's real hard for me, and I've got tutors, and I'm dialed with my homework, and it's like, still probably have decent GPA. It's trying really hard. I know everybody's got a different gift. We all can work at it, right? So one, coaches are looking at that. Okay, what kind of man or woman are you by the way you carry yourself in the classroom? Okay, two, you got to get in. They can't help you with that. All right, if you can't get in, you can't get in. Three, if you have a really good GPA, you're more attractive. One, they think of you as a high character person because you're taking care of your academics in the classroom. Okay, that can be difficult. And two, the wrestling, so let's see Ohio State, the wrestling team has each year, they get a stamp of what their basically average GPA is. Okay, and it's like, hey, you don't want to be the one team that's like, hey, but out of 36 teams, the wrestling team really, they have 2 points. Like, oh, looks bad. The coaches are embarrassed like that. So if they can have a guy with, hey, it's a 4.0 student, they come in and they're boosting the average GPA, that's more attractive. Hey, we can bring this guy in. Maybe he's not the best wrestler, the best recruiter we have from a talent standpoint, but he takes care of his stuff. He's going to boost our overall academic average. Maybe he brings somebody along with him. He could be a positive role model in the wrestling room and in the classroom for the guys too. And it helps our report at the end of the year. Okay, so besides all that of what it means, what type of life you're living, you can be on top of your academics, right? I trust a 4.0 student more than a 2.0 student probably, right? If I had to put my life on, I'd probably want the 4.0, one that's taking care of itself. Okay? But two, you're more attractive to recruit if you want to, two coaches if you want to wrestle legally. Okay? Good question. Other questions? Let's go a couple more minutes before we can get started. But if you got more questions, I'd love to take more questions. Good. It's important. Mindset before what's my mindset before a match? Does anybody know? Alright, so I kind of was talking about that a little bit. That's what I was getting at. So I'm in the hole, right? I'm going through building my confidence. Alright, telling myself why I'm the man. Right? Wow, I'm gonna dominate all the areas of wrestling. I have all the physical attributes. My gas tank, my strength, my conditioning, my speed, all those things. On deck, preparing for a fight, reflecting on faith, being excited that I get to do this. Your match, stop. That's it. Right? Anybody else?
Can you talk about nutrition?
Yeah.
Eat right and take care of their bodies.
Yeah. Nutrition is huge, especially, the higher level you get, the less window for weigh-ins you have. When I first got to college, it was a 1 hour weigh-in. So it's like, holy cow, I have to be extremely dialed in with my weight and the way I mean, my nutrition before weigh-ins and after. But in general, the nutrition guys, one, you kind of all have a decent idea already. Like, you know what foods are good for you. You know what fuels your body well, and you know what foods you should probably avoid. So there's more there, right? Obviously, like nutritionists know what they're talking about and are really going to take that to a higher level. I'm not a nutritionist, but I know what works for my body. I know what healthy foods are, and I know how to fuel myself for matches and for practice. Okay. So one thing weight cutting wise too, is just talking about that aspect of the sport too. Water, we got to drink our water. Okay, when I was younger, I wouldn't drink water. I would be scared to drink a lot of water early in the week, even if I had a weekend weigh-in. Okay, it's silly. It's dehydrated, it's water. Okay? At the end of the weight cut, I'll manipulate water a little bit, right? Cut it out 24 hours before, maybe a little bit less water the day before that. Drinking lots of water throughout the weight cut. That's what our body needs, hydration. Okay? Post weighing, electrolytes, water. We have like a carb mix that we use called Weekend. You guys don't look into that, but it's a quick carb and electrolytes in us. And then something that's gonna sit well post weighing. Okay, so for me, it'd be all natural stuff pretty much. Okay, I'm gonna drink that carb fix. It's a powder that we put in our drink. Quick carbs, it's called Weekend. Then electrolytes, and then oatmeal with fruit, berries, and honey. Good sugars to energize me, good carbs to energize me, and then I have like a trail mix where I can snack on that, sip water, and maybe another fruit bar if I have some fruit for it. But I can't overload myself with too much. If you have more time, you can get a protein in there, maybe some chicken and rice, something like that. But if it's real quick, I just want something really natural to be in my stomach. But overall, Coach, I don't have a ton of like specific nutrition other than like the stuff we probably are aware of, right? I like natural stuff in the mornings and like my fruits and oatmeals, smoothies I love before practice, those kind of things. But I'm really dialed in before practice too. I'm not gonna eat something bad I'm not feeling during practice. I wanna feel good. Okay? And then getting a lot of protein for my dinners, where it's like chicken or any type of protein with some rice or a good carb like that is a great thing for us to do. Okay, but overall, you know mostly what's going to be healthy and not healthy, or good food that fuel you and what doesn't. Okay. Good question.
I was going to say that the nutritional food is cocaine.
Recent? Say again?
The breakfast food that I eat in the morning is usually cocaine, yogurt.
I can't hear you, sorry.
That's what yogurt can be good.
Yeah, yogurt's great. Yogurt's got good protein. Yogurt, there's some berries in there, honey, give you some good sugar. Anything like that, yeah. Hey, one more question?
Yeah. Cutting weight versus being
Yeah, so that's a it depends question a little bit, right? So he asked about cutting weight versus competing at your natural weight. That depends. Okay, one, sometimes lineups are lineups, man. Especially like maybe I have to go to a certain weight class because hey, that's where I want to. That's the only place I can wrestle. Okay, cutting zero weight, you're gonna be smaller, right? But you'll feel your energy level will be better. Cutting too much weight, you'll be big, but you'll be a little zapped. So finding that sweet spot is important, but you gotta know your body. Okay. We operate in about our training, but this is for an adult too. An adult college wrestler is about 5% above our weight class. Okay, so knowing what weight class I am, 5% of that, it's usually about like 6 pounds over for me, 6 or 7 pounds. But knowing my body too, I lose 6 pounds with practice, right? So knowing who you are, if you can only lose a pound of practice, you wouldn't want to be 7 pounds over on a Tuesday with a Friday leg. Okay? That's a tough question. It's really dependent on who you are, what your situation is. Obviously, cutting too much weight, especially at a younger age, I'm not going to tell you not to do that. It's not. No. I wouldn't advise that, such a developmental standpoint, but certain times, there's going to be times where you're going to have to. Right? Especially as you get older, in high school, and you maybe in a tournament you really want to perform well at, you get maybe looked at by some college coaches, and you want to be at your optimal weight class. So finding that optimal spot is important, but getting ahead of it, right? So knowing ahead of time, don't be like, okay, I have a tournament in 2 weeks, what weight class do I want to go? Okay, I want to go down a weight class. That's not being critical, right? So, by knowing which weight class I want to go to, and slowly taking that weight down, versus crashing it, and just, I'm gonna be zapped, and I have no muscular strength. Okay. So good questions. We're gonna be hanging out all day, guys. So thank you for being serious about those questions. I care a lot about those things. Okay, it takes some vulnerability a little bit to talk about, some of those things for me, what they look like. So I appreciate you guys listening to those things. But we'll keep having some talk like this. I know that went long, but you guys just coming from practice, so maybe it worked out as a good break. And we're here till 4 today, so we have plenty of time. But thank you for paying attention, being focused. We'll keep that up. Wrestling wise, the focus has been great as well. It's making it fun for me. We're going to get warmed up. We'll do a quick warm up to get us still probably semi-warm, right? And then we'll get into one more finish from single leg. We're going to start from a mat. So maybe they sprawl on us and keep you there. Then get into defense. Defense is fun. I love defense. Okay, you can really wear somebody out. It takes some mindset though. If they're on my leg, if they get a takedown, fine, but it better take them about 40 seconds. Right? And then I get up right away and right back in their face. That's not fun for the guy that puts me down. Because, man, I scored, but that was so hard. Dang right it was. Right? So I'm going to learn how to teach you guys how to flow through our defense, wear a guy out, and score from our defense. And hopefully we'll have time for it. We will have time for it. I'll make time. But pinning somebody from our defense. Right? That's pretty cool. Cradling somebody. Okay? My coaches are really good at that. So I have some lessons from there that I'm going to show you guys. One single leg finish, and then right into our defense. Alright? Alright, let's do it. Up and jogging, quick warm up, I'll take you 2. Ready? 1, 2.